one thing that I learned from Atomic Habits by James Clear was that perhaps one of the best ways to actually get rid of a bad habit, so, you know, porn and fapping is a bad habit. One of the best ways to get rid of it is to simply just replace it, not like just get rid of it. You know, I try to get rid of my porn addiction, right? My fapping addiction. I tried to get rid of it without replacing it with anything. And so I found myself in the exact, literally imagine that, right? Imagine the guy who's trying to quit porn, but he's lying down underneath his covers and scrolling on the exact social media that he usually jacks off to. It's not going to work, is it? So I tried to get rid of the bad habit without implementing a new one. And it was interesting that actually when I started to go to the gym in the mornings, so first thing in the morning, I'd wake up, I'd poop, I'd brush my teeth, and I'd go train fasted, right? When I started to do that, and so obviously I wasn't going to spend time like, you know, lying down in bed because I just wanted to wake up and go work out. I stopped fapping anywhere near as much. Replace the bad habits for the good one. So think about right now, what is like that habit, that the often time that you fap? Maybe it's a specific time, it's a specific area, it's the apps that you use, it's a specific feeling. That's a habit, right? Replace that habit with something. For me, it was easy because I usually would wake up and fap. And so all I had to do was just wake up and go to the gym instead. For you, let's say if you end up fapping at like 6 p.m., differently, there's going to be something that's consistent, something that's habitual. Maybe it's the feeling that you get, maybe it's the thought, maybe it's some kind of trigger that you're on YouTube and you see this thumbnail, or, you know, you go onto social media, you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Oh, there's a girl doing a little fucking TikTok dance or something, and that's what ends up triggering you. See what the habit is and see if you can replace it with something that's healthier, especially if you can do it at the same time. So a lot of people, for example, they'll fap before they go to bed, and this is really bad for you. You end up staying up late, you end up like fapping with the connection built to sleeping, and so eventually a lot of these guys who always fap before going to bed always end up saying the same thing, like, oh, but I can't fap if I go to bed. If I can't go to bed if I don't fap. And to them, if this is you, just quickly, I've made a video about this actually ages ago, so you can just go search up on YouTube, like Hamza, I can't sleep if I don't fap, something like that. And I end up explaining this specific concept here of like, no, if you've built up the link of like fapping and going to sleep, now you can't go to sleep without fapping, right? But all you really need to do, like, I wouldn't even think about quitting porn anymore, honestly. Because it was only when I stopped thinking about it and I started to just think about the positive habits and then like the good things I wanted to add to my life, that's when I made real progress, honestly. So I think focusing on the negative, focusing on like the fact that, you know, we need to get to day 12 or something, I don't think that's good for you. I really don't. And I've got so many videos on my channel where I've explained this, and I still want every man in the world to know this. I don't think it's good to see yourself as someone who's trying to quit porn. I don't think it's good being a guy who's on nofap. I really don't think it's good for you, because by the nature, think about it, by how you're identifying with yourself, you're literally seeing yourself as a guy who's got a problem that's hard. What we need to do is see ourselves as guys who don't even think about porn or fapping, like it's not even a thing in our lives. Genuinely, I'm telling you right now, I don't get like the thought that I should fap. It's not something that even happens to my brain because I'm not trying to quit fapping. I just don't do it. It's like I don't go through the day craving a cigarette, right? You probably don't, right? You don't go through the day craving a cigarette. You don't go through a day craving the next hit of fucking heroin or some shit, right? That's how you want it to be the same thing where it's like you don't even get the craving for it. And the way that you do that is by stopping obsessing over the negative habit of like, oh man, I really hope I don't fap again. And like, you know, grabbing a knife and etching what day of no fap you are on your wall or something. Stop the identification with these bad habits and just start focusing entirely on the self-improvement that you wanted to do anyway. So whatever time you usually fap, whatever mood you're in, whatever, like, you know, the environment's like, change it so that it's something healthy. It can be as simple as like, whenever you feel like fapping, go do 100 push-ups. Go challenge yourself to do 100 push-ups. That's harder than it seems. It's way harder than it seems. You do this, you're going to build up a chest and also quit fapping at the same time. But in my opinion, something better is to do something very consistent throughout the day, like I mentioned with that military routine, so that everything is just set. When your whole day, like the pussies don't like this advice, but when your whole day is productive, you just have so much less space to actually care about watching porn anyway.